What's going on, Band of Horses and Cosmogs, fans of lights, fandom-based community with yet another League video because we can't seem to get enough. Just want to let you guys know that we have returned to the CPC D-League. Yes, we were in it last season. Had to end up dropping because of other crazy things, but I think this season will be a lot better because we're actually drafted our own team, and I'm pretty darn happy with it. Now, right away, I want to let you know that hope you guys will enjoy this little series. This season is going to be a lot of fun. We drafted a team that I really love, and I can't wait to use half these mods. I've never used them. So without much further ado, let's hop into what you can see is the team captain, who is none other than Static Shock, the Tapu Koko, who is clearly one of our Z Crystal users. This thing is a monster in League format, easily one of the top 3 best Pokemon, and one of the top 3 picks, obviously. I was actually 3rd pick in the draft, and I was happy that nobody took Tapu Koko from me. So with that, I was really glad that we were able to grab this thing, because I really wanted to use Tapu Koko. I've never used it in League format, in a league that survived, or a league that I was able to stay in for very long. So, and I mean, we all know Koko is what Koko can do. It's it can Calm Mind, it can Agility, it can be a Taunt Roost set, it can be just your spec set, it can be whatever you want it to be. It can be physical, it can be special. Funny enough, his physical attack is better than his special attack, but his special move pool is significantly better. And, fun fact, it gets defog now. Not like I'm going to be using that much, but if I run a bulky set, I may, who knows. But yeah, so we all know what Tapu Koko does, and that base 130 speed is nothing to sneeze at. It is quite fast, and quite powerful with the electric terrain. Because thanks to Electric Surge, electric terrain pretty much gives me specs boosted electric moves. In conjunction with a Z Crystal, we could be causing a lot of havoc. Now, next thing up is, we were originally going to grab Mega Scizor on our next pick, but my good buddy Troy decided he wanted it instead, and I'm okay with that, because we have some other heat picks in the back that kind of cover that weakness that we wanted to cover with it. So, our next pick, we decided, because we really were stuck and couldn't decide what we wanted to grab, I decided to grab Hawlucha, because, I mean, you know what Hawlucha does in terrain. The Unburdened Electric Seed set is very common, well, nevertheless, still a really great bring. Hawlucha is a really dangerous Pokemon because of the fact that it gets set up, it gets Baton Pass on top of that. Granted, it sadly can't pass Unburden, but like, it can still pass the attack. It can run Sword Stance, it can run Bulk Up, and it can run, it just breaks holes through teams. Flying and Fighting is a very interesting coverage, and it makes it not weak to Rock, which is very nice. But it does leave it susceptible to Fairies, which are kind of a weakness on my team currently. And you'll see that doesn't really get changed much until later. So, yeah, Hawlucha is really great. The base 118 speed is really great in conjunction with Unburden. It's practically unmatched in speed once you get the Unburden up. And on top of that, popping the Electric Seed gives me Acrobatics boost, and if I can get an SD up, Acrobatics spam is just going to be crazy. The best thing to beat it is Priority, and with the Electric Seed, you actually get a defense boost, which is really nice. You can run some Drain Punch, some HJK, Iron Head, Locate, Poison Jab. I mean, this thing is really good at what it does, and yeah, if I wanted to, I can just run a Sub-Focus Punch set if I really felt so inclined. This thing could be, and I could also bring a Mold Breaker set so that we can potentially stop mons that have, like potential, I don't know, multi-scale if we're facing a Dragonite. My bad. If we're facing like a Dragonite or something, we don't get Ice Punch, I don't think. Sadly we don't, but we can still run like Stone Edge or something. Like we could break Sturdies with the Mold Breaker set, just stuff like that. And of course you've got your Limber set, which I mean could be a niche set if I really wanted to bring that. But anyway, next Pokemon I decided to grab, once again, I was really stuck after Mega Pinsir was taken. Like, I really was just thrown off. Like, I could not decide what I wanted to grab. So I figured I would just grab another offensive mon that I'm just used to, and a hazard setter at that could really just grant me a lot of power and force a lot of switches, and that is Mammoth Swine. It is a mon that we have used before, and is a crazy good mon at that. Base 130 attack is ridiculous. Ice and ground goes practically unresisted in combination with each other. And this thing has priority. This thing is with a life orb. With the life orb, this thing is just ridiculously powerful. And in conjunction with its priority capabilities, with its practically unrivaled coverage, like not coverage so much, but like its dual stab is practically is unresisted in the format, which is crazy. And like it's insane what this thing can do. It would literally have to be a pure steel type with levitate to have any chance against Mammoth Swine, and even the Mammoth Swine is superpower, so like even that's not a good answer. So, and this is a great rock setter in my mind because it forces switches, and yeah, Mammoth Swine is just a great monitor. And the speed stat is kind of lackluster, but it gets it just fast enough to make it so that you can potentially outspeed things and get rocks up early. And so next up, I really, like I said, just was really stuck. Like pincer, or not pincer, Scizor was really something I wanted to use in this team, because we see, because I was gonna go with Scizor plus Flygon as like, or Scizor Gliscor, but just to have hidden power shenanigans going on. But like, as a result, it really makes life easier when I know I don't have a lot of quad weaknesses. So instead, I decided in these next few rounds to grab my bulk, and I decided what better way to start out than with Tangrowth, because Tangrowth is a great Pokemon that helps me wall a lot of threats to Tapu Koko being ground types. And Assault Vest really doesn't care too much about special spam unless it's like poison or ice or fire. And I mean, we've got answers for that, and like poison is semi-answered in freaking Mammoth Swine. We got other picks in the back to handle that. And clearly this thing with Regenerator is great, especially in conjunction with our next Pokemon, which is like Slowking, a good Spidefmon to handle a lot of things that Tangrowth is weak to, like for example fire, ice, and the only thing that we're shared weakness at this point is Bug, and that's actually answered in my next couple of Pokemon. And actually in freaking Hawlucha switches into Bug so easily. It can quad resist, and it's really, and Tapu Koko switches in pretty decently as well. But Slowking really helps handle those fire and ice types that, honestly, until Slowking, I didn't have a switch into fire types. So like Thick Fat Mammoth Swine still doesn't appreciate a good strong fire type. So that was the whole point of Slowking. And Slowking plus Tangrowth is a nice regenerator core, and Slowking gives me a nice option for some later mons that I grab that I will explain, and it gets some reliable recovery with Slack Off, which is really convenient. Our next Pokemon I decided to grab was a Pokemon that could really serve multiple roles, and it was a dragon that I kind of haven't used in a long time, and I really liked it in the matchups of the rest of our season, and like throughout the season it matches up really well against a lot of teams, and that is Goodra. And Goodra can really help out walling grass types that threaten Slowking and Mammoth Swine. Can help handle a lot of just special mons in general. Special spam is kind of good against my team overall, like except for Slowking, and even then Slowking doesn't appreciate fairy spam, because right now my team is really weak to fairy, so we do kind of patch that up a little bit later. But Goodra's so specially defensive, like it can shoot fairy hits for days, and it gets the right coverage with things like Sludge Wave. It gets it gets Iron Tail, and then it gets like your Bolt Beam coverage, Fire coverage, Draco clearly, and like I said, it gets Sludge Wave, and it gets Muddy Water, which is like this thing gets some crazy good coverage, and this thing is not to be slept on. And AV said you're not killing like an Assault Vest Gudra is not getting killed by a special move, period. At the end, it would have to be like a +6 Twinkle Tackle, essentially, and that might not even kill. Anyway, so our next Pokemon is the beginning of our Fairy Wall Core. And, because, like I said, up until this point, you see that we don't really have a good solid switch into Fairy types. So I kind of decided that we're going to have to grab some Fairy switch-ins. One being Doublade. Because physical Fairies, Doublade just shrugs. It says Teehee, and sets up a sword stance, pretty much, because most physical Fairies, even if they have Fire Punch, aren't doing crap to Doublade. Like, just to give you an example, we have a Mega Medicham in the next following weeks, and an Adamant Mega Medicham cannot 2-hit kill Doublade with Fire Punch. It would have to be a Foresight High Jump Kick set, and even then, if I get a +2, like a +2 Shadow Sneak actually kills Mega Medicham. Honestly, 2 Shadow Sneaks just kill Mega Medicham, no reason to set up. But, yeah, Doublade is a great physical wall in that regard, and, of course, it's going to be holding the Eviolite 9 times out of 10. Like, honestly, like, 99 times out of 100 it's going to be holding the Eviolite just to really boost that bulk. Because, I mean, this thing hits, like, seriously, this thing hits, like, freaking 438 defense. You add on the dang, Eviolite to that, is like 600 and something. It's stupid how fat this thing is, but, like, yeah, so we just kind of decided to go that route. And our next Pokemon really helps counter out things that Doublade's weak to, and, honestly, it's one of the best walls to Doublade, and I'm glad I grabbed it, because I really wanted to make sure that we could also handle Fairies, and honestly bulky Psychics that really could handle my team pretty well at this point, because this thing beats Psychic type, offensive Psychic types. I needed a bulky Psychic answer, which is Alolan Muck. And I know what you're thinking. Yeah, we have kind of a ground weakness. Thankfully, we have Hawlucha, we have Tangrowth, we have Gudra can shrug those hits off, and honestly, if it's a physical to ground move, unless it's like banded something or another, Doublade's chewing that hit really well. But Alolan Muck really helps take care of Fairies that are more bulky, as well as Psychic types that are more bulky, because we can really beat those things down with a combination of like Poison Touch plus Knockoff or Pursuit. And an AV set is really good against some Psychic types, some Fairy types. Overall, this Pokemon is just really good pivot and a really good trapper. And in conjunction with Doublade, I'm really pleased with the synergy here outside of the ground weakness. And even then, like I said, this team is kind of offensive on the whole. Ground types in general, unless their names are Landorus, are typically not very offensive. And I've got one of the best offensive ground types in the game, being Mamoswine. So Alolan Muck is really good in this matchup, or not in this matchup, but like in this league in general, in this format, and really good on this team, I feel. So next up, and it also gives me a really good switch into Ice types and Fire types that are kind of a problem for my team at the moment, especially Fire types. Fire types like are only walled at this moment by Alolan Muck and Gudra, and to an extent Slowking. But next up, I decided to grab a Pokemon that was just overall fast. I couldn't decide what I wanted, but I really did want some Spikes and Toxic Spikes, because at this moment my only hazard setter was literally Mamoswine. So I decided to grab Excelgor, and this thing can really get put on the pressure with some Spikes. I can run it with a Specs or a Sash, or in general I think Specs is a good set. Sash is a good set. Like, we can really do some work with this thing, and Unburden makes it literally unoutspeedable. Like, there are no faster Unburden Pokemon out there. And this Pokemon does really well under the terrain if I can run. I think it gets, does it get Nature Power? Crap, no it doesn't. But it can certainly run like an HP Electric or something like that, and get that boosted by, and that would really help out with some flying types that this thing's weak to. Like, it's crazy what this thing can do. I can run Final Gambit to beat down some more bulky threats, to really weaken them, or even just kill them all, because base 80 HP is really easy to creep things with. Like, I could HP creep something and just go out and straight kill it. So, like, Excelgor is really good at what it does. It doesn't do a whole lot of things, but what it does well. Now, the next Pokemon I decided to grab was gonna kind of piggyback off the electric terrain, and I'm surprised this thing lasted to me at all, and Alolan Raichu decided to come my way. And I made it my other Z Crystal user, in that it's the only one that can be it can only have offensive Z Crystals, but I don't really see a need to run anything else on this, because if I'm gonna run any uh, setup Z moves or whatever, it's gonna be on this thing, because nature power is a status move. Anyway, we can run like this thing could be really great with like Z taunt or this thing is not going to be going crazy with Z status moves, but like Z mirror move could be a thing. Like Z mirror moves could be fun. But anyway, Alolan Raichu is good because of Surge Surfer plus Nasty Plot. Sad that you can't run Nasty Plot plus Surf, otherwise this thing would be incredibly busted. And you'll find out later in the season how and why I found that out. Anyway, Alolan Raichu's speed stat makes it really good and gives me essentially another Unburdened Mon, but I don't have to lose an item. And I can be in the terrain, just go fast. And with the coverage this thing gets in now Psychic type moves, plus I can run it with Nasty Plot, Thunderbolt Psychic move, and Hidden Power of choice, or Focus Blast, or Surf. Well, I can't run Surf, but I can run Grass Knot. Like, this thing is really good with the terrain. And it's the next Pokemon I decided to grab is the last bit of our Wall Core. And I say Wall Core very loosely in the back, but like, this thing really helps with the ground weakness, in a sense, in that we have Licky Tongue, and this thing is almost 100% of the time going to be Violet. That's because with Oblivious we can pass Wishes and click Heal Bell and just be in a nuisance to a lot of teams. And like, this thing can really be annoying. It's kind of what I want it for, because if I don't have this thing and I'm kind of up against a ground spammable team and I don't bring Tangrowth, this thing is going to be a really good way for me to keep my team healthy overall, because the last Pokemon on my team is where, like I said, Slowking has some good support in the back, working on like some moves it can run really support this last Mon that we grab in our draft. I really preserve my points. This is a 1 point Mon, I think, or 2 points, so I had to really preserve my points because I wanted to grab a certain Mega. After Scizor was taken, I had a Heat Mega in mind, but like, keep in mind, this Pokemon can still do work, because like I said, the final Pokemon we decided to draft was none other than Mega Camerupt. And let me explain to you just how crazy this thing is. Under Trick Room, we were practically unspeed creepable. The only thing slower than us would be Stakataka, Pyukumuku, or Shuckle, or Munchlax, and none of those are taking a combination of Earth Power, and fire coverage. Because this thing, Sheer Force boosted moves plus base 145 special attack is stupid insane. And we're almost always going to be running a special attack boosting nature, because like a quiet nature is going to hit so hard. Like, this thing is so much stronger than Landorus Incarnate. The only reason Landorus Incarnate is any good is because it gets the ability to use a Life Orb with its special attack stat and Sheer Force. But anyway, this thing in conjunction, like I said before, Slowking gets some good support for Mega Camerupt and Trick Room. And I think I can also run Trick Room on Alolan Raichu. Don't quote me. Let's find out, actually. Do you get Trick Room? You don't. That's really kind of sad, but that's okay, because I don't really need it on Alolan Raichu. Do you get... Not you. Do you get Trick Room? Let's see. Okay, I don't think you do, but can't hurt. Yeah, I didn't think so. But guaranteed, this thing has Trick Room. And I love that it has Trick Room because it can really do some work. If I can set up a Trick Room, this thing is going to be outslowing most teams. This thing is outslowing almost every team. And we can just do work with those two together. And if I really want to play a speed control game where I can bring Electric Terrain and Raichu plus Trick Room and Camera Up, this thing is... It's going to be really hard to play the mind game. It's going to be really hard to predict what's going on with this team, just because of what I bring. And the speed control I have with this team is practically unparalleled in the entire set, so I'm really proud of the team that I built here, or the team that I've constructed, the team I've drafted. So we have our captain here with Tapu Koko and co-captain Magma over here with this. They're ready to put in some work. and I'm really excited to show you guys the matches we have this season. I'm really looking forward to the rest of the season, and I hope you guys are going to enjoy. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys week 1. Bye, guys.